What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of Cub Reacts on a Friday morning. Very excited to get into this one. Two big releases have landed over the course of the night. This being one of them, the deluxe edition of Terri's In Transit EP. And this one is a wicked new remix that features on there the No Lie remix alongside the one and only Rema. Now, as a combination, this should be very exciting indeed. Obviously, Rema's had a couple of big link-ups recently. He appears on Fireboy's album. He's had his album out recently as well, so this should be a really cool one to dive into. Very much liking the run that he's on. Do make sure you go and check out our full interview with Terri that is available on the channel as well. And we're going to jump right into this one. So as always, friends, if you're new to the channel, do make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Turning notifications on, of course, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. Without further ado, let's jump right into this one.
The loving who you give me deep as ocean. I no go let another man come put down for my portion.
So much cool stuff going on.
Tired body pray for you for money in the ocean. I go home, come now, won't call.
Really cool thing about this right from the start is it definitely sounds like the type of tune you can imagine Rema going over very nicely, so it's a good tune for him to be involved in. Those little kind of rave synths that are quite prominent throughout the tune at the beginning. Again, the very kind of warm low end of this one. There's a nice bass line going on, and of course Terri's lead vocal over the intro sounds super sweet as well. This is an EP. The original version was great, so I'm excited to see how it's enhanced by these remixes more than anything else. But again, great start. The percussion sounds clean, the bass sounds lovely as it did on the original. Let's go.
I'm a dosha, I'm a leper. One day give it to you, I'm a japa. Yeah, you know your body really matter. You know me, ignite. So you know, see how I fight for your life. When you call her, she not shine you, never too far away. No go wait for slow. How I want my school like to me, but you are the true definition.
Again, there's a really good usage of vocals on this one. The fact that they are so kind of wide, you're getting a lot of different kind of directions, a lot of different melodic patterns, all stacking up on top of each other, and it gives it this very kind of almost ethereal feel when you've got those different vocal layers all kind of wisping off in their own directions. Works really nicely. That guitar line running throughout the middle of the tune as well is very prominent. That's the kind of lead source of melody, I would say, on this one, which works quite nicely, especially when a guitar and a vocal are very much in there in a similar kind of bracket. Not too much going on in the high end. This is all kind of about the low end and the kind of combination of percussion, bass line, and other synthesizers that are kind of working away. Nice combos though.
Finance. I know if you ever this sketchy, I represent you, guess I pick all on finance. I'm to show, girl, you they told me, I'm get when I don't fall for you, I go fall. I know be to ever man, so say you they bust my brain when you they bellow. Why you they make all that girls go they jello? I don't be ever play with you like us let it go. Just promise say you know.
We're almost getting like an overload at this point of those different sounds all kind of going. It's almost like those vocal lines are all overlapping very cleanly, and it does give it this very kind of almost wave feel. It feels like you're in like the middle of a swill when you've got the waves going that way, then that way, then that way, and you're in the middle of it as a listener, which works really nicely. Again, cool use of vocals, man. Very electronic on the vocal side of things. You can hear the kind of effects going on with them. I'm not against it in any way. Like, I quite like hearing electronic vocals. I feel it does enhance a lot of vocal styles, especially when you're going over an electronic style of instrumental. It almost normalizes how kind of electronic a piece of music it is. It sounds great though.
Shake it, break it, so I get it. You know, say for love me, I be waiting. I know send any other.
Let's go, Rema.
And now you want make it my baby. Anytime when you call on me, oh shorty, you know, say I go there available. Say you dey press on my pim pam pam. Push and start. Yeah. The loving who you give me deep as ocean.
Really smooth introduction from Rema, man. Again, I hope we do get to hear a little bit more of him, because it does sound like quite a short feature. But it's a cool combination. Again, their vocals actually stack up very similarly, so it took me a second to clock that he was actually involved. When they're in this kind of setting, their vocals are moderately similar sounding. But again, Rema, very, very cool. Nice utilization of rhythm and pattern as well. That kind of gimme, that little pattern there. Again, just pulling you in, utilizing pockets on and alternate rhythms over what is the kind of 4/4 underneath at the moment. Yeah, sounding cool, man. Nice vocal feature. Again, I wish I'd heard a little bit more of it, though. I wish it was a little bit longer. Hopefully he comes back in for a following up hook or something like that.
I no go let another man come put down for my portion. Tired body pray for you, morning devotion. I go home, come now, home, come. For a sad location. Me and the over, 5 pound to fire. One day, money and client, oh, what you need. When I miss you, I go call you die.
This is a cool tune, man. There's a lot to like about it. Again, when you kind of add in all the different factors that are involved in it, that kind of almost rave synth that pops up in the rest of the mix, you've kind of got this little beep sort of sound. And it's a rave synthesizer, very kind of 90s in the way it's been constructed. You've got the bass line down below. You've got this very kind of simplistic, but very kind of energetic set of percussive instrumentation going on as well. The bass line down below is rumbling. This is a tune, however, that does just kind of give the vocal all the power. There's no kind of saxophone or flute line or kind of vocal-like instrument which kind of leads the way melody-wise. You've got a very subtle guitar line which just kind of plucks. And apart from that, it's the vocal that does the majority of the melody work. So yeah, interesting combination of sounds.
I got all you need. You go feel my long gun. Wonder why you acting like you don't want one. On my side, kaba, I go run. Do where you do, today. You love it when you give me deep ocean. Yeah, I no go let another man come put down for my portion. Yeah, tired body pray for you for morning devotion.
There's a nice kind of natural sway to this instrumental as well. Like you can't help but find yourself kind of swinging from side to side like that. It's almost like being in it's like being on like a Newton's cradle or something like that, where it just kind of swings from side to side. It has that natural kind of flow to it. But yeah, overall, as an addition to the project, I've always said a deluxe album needs to be, or a deluxe version of an EP needs to sound like the tracks were meant to be on the original, but we as a crowd weren't lucky enough to experience them the first time around. And I definitely think this ties into how the rest of In Transit works, man. Again, it is a remix of a tune that's already on there, so that's kind of, it makes sense that would be the case. But again, Rema and Terri match up really nicely vocally, so it's a cool addition to see. What we'll do is we'll let this one run through to the end and then give you our final breakdown. But again, would have liked to have heard a bit more Rema, but overall, this is a remix that does work.
I go uncle now, uncle. Sad location. Yeah.
It's STG.
You can hear that's all the melody that happens prior. There we go then, the sounds of Terri with No Lie remix off the In Transit Deluxe EP. Very interesting tune. You sort of heard Rema just slowly appearing on the hook towards the edge at the end of the tune again. It is only a 2 minutes 53 tune, so there is only so much you can kind of fit in. But I don't know, I'd have liked to have heard maybe another 16 from Rema, maybe even another 8. It just felt like a very short feature. And I feel when you get features involved, it's always best to kind of get the most out of them. But that's just me. Maybe this was a decision that was made on both ends and it made more sense to them. I would have liked to have heard a bit more Rema, but what we did hear of Rema worked really nicely, utilising his rhythmic ability and his ability to kind of alternate rhythms within wider rhythms to give it that kind of almost stuttered feel. The instrumental off the original works really nicely. Obviously, Terri's vocal is crazy on the original. That's why there's a remix of it. But yeah, with the new additions, Rema's vocal works quite well. Him and Terri match up next to each other quite nicely vocal-wise as well. They intertwine really cleanly. So there we go. This is solid. Not my favourite remix, but a solid addition to the In Transit collection. So there we go. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this as an original in the comments section down below. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Turning notifications on, of course, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. And we shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CUBCAM TV. Stay locked.